All right, today I'm going to show you how I make my favorite soup, which is basically what we call favorite soup. But you can get the recipe at foodprude.com and search tomato soup. There's two different ones. There's a 15-minute one, which is great for obviously low on time, and it goes great with grilled cheese. But this one is Crockpot soup, and it's the creamy, cheesy tomato soup. But here in the family, we call it favorite soup because I've been making it for years. So I'm just kind of rough cutting all the onions right now and throwing them in the bottom. I didn't cut them up fine or anything like that because I'm going to use an immersion blender to puree them. So it'll all get nice and creamy at the end anyway. So just kind of getting it done so that I could make it in the morning and we could have it by lunchtime. Took about 4 hours or so on high in the crock pot. And you could easily double this recipe or use, different ingredients that you have on hand, which is great. So love lots of garlic. We plant lots of garlic. If you search on my YouTube channel for garlic planting, or even on the website, you'll see how we plant garlic. We do about 500 or so of them each year. I just use them medicinally for fire cider and for cooking constantly. So I'm just kind of peeling up one potato a little bit. We're going to chop that up and throw that in there. We have so many potatoes left over, so I decided to just throw a big old red pawpaw in there, and it'll help make it creamier and thicken it up as well. And then we are going to get the next ingredient, which will be our carrots. And I actually still have carrots left over from last year. The best way I like to store them is actually just dig them up from the garden and leave them dirty and put them in a bag and tie it tight. And then just throw it in the fridge. And they have lasted all this time. But exactly how I do it is on the website. If you go to the garden section, if you're interested in doing that as well. They start to get a little, well, growing. They want to regenerate and grow and keep going with the process, but they are still fine and tasty, and just going to use up the remaining of them. Got a little bag left still. So I have some canned beets from 2 years ago that I'm going to throw in there too, just to kind of get rid of them. It won't really alter the taste. And then, of course, some tomatoes. And my secret ingredient is red pepper. I use red pepper in so many different dishes. It just has this amazing flavor, and it's not spicy. I guess if you add too much, it probably would be. This is some oregano that I grew last year. I'm just kind of crushing it up on my hands. One, it smells good, but I'm just getting rid of the thicker, viney parts. That's some parsley. I just thought I'd throw in some extra green nutrients in there. Bay leaf or two. Yep, see, there's 2 bay leaves. I'm going to throw in some chicken broth, some homemade chicken broth. That's on the website as well. How to do that in a crock pot. Super easy. I like to do everything super easy. Give it a stir. There we go. 4 hours. The magic of videos, right? All that steam. Look at all the little bubbles. Just taking a look. Saying, oh, everything's done. Okay. Here we go. Now I'm trying to find the bay leaves. And I ended up only finding one. So apparently the other one walked off. Or I'll just chop it up with the immersion blender. Whatever. So here's the trick with the immersion blender. You want to get it blended, but you want to go so much longer than what you think, because at first if you do it, even it looks like it's done, it'll be grainy. But if you keep going for several minutes, it'll become so creamy. It's amazing. So that's the trick with the immersion blender. Keep it going. Then we're going to add in some homemade butter. And we're going to add in some farmhouse cheddar cheese that I made as well. And we're going to give that some good stirs to get melting. It just gives it a nice flavor with the butter and the cheese. And it's cheese. That's always good, right? And then we're just going to stir it. Make sure it gets melted. Oh, can't forget the salt. Oh gosh, I use a lot of salt in everything because this Redmond's real salt is actually good for you. So you should give that a research on that. I really recommend real salt. It's actually really good for you. All right, that looks melted. Ooh, can you see those globs of cheese in there? And then we're going to add in some raw organic milk, just to kind of cut down like the super strong veggie flavor. I just like it a little bit. If you don't have it, you don't have to. I used to use coconut milk before I started having access to raw milk. And then we're going to plate it up. And yes, those are Christmas bowls because I celebrate Christmas all year round. No, they're just really great bowls too. Look at that. Oh, it's so creamy, and the taste was excellent.